Welcome to the Cosmic Show, hosted by me, Cosmic Chimp, and today we have been graced with royalty. That is right, boys and girls. We have a Duchess, and I've been told she has been pampered all her life. Yes, that's right, Pampered Duchess. Welcome to my show.
Hey,
How's
it going?
Oh, it was awesome, amazing. I'm so happy you're here. I think that intro was a wee bit cheesy, don't you think? Probably enough cheese to make a pizza with.
I can do it again if you want.
Nah. Oh man. So like my banana suit.
God, you freaking banana suit.
It's awesome, isn't it? I love your woman texture.
Oh, thank you. This was done expertly and lovingly by Sectan. Though it doesn't have the updates with the suits that came like a couple of updates ago.
So you can't like turn it into a cow suit or something like that, no?
No, I can't really turn it into a cow suit, and I kind of have problems if I sit on something.
Yeah, you go black. Like
Yeah, it's not becoming. I mean, black is slimming, but it's just not becoming on me.
yeah, it's not the new black is not the new orange or anything like that.
No, it really isn't. No.
Any hoodles, my noodles. Can't believe I say that all the time. Oh, I stole that from Commander Kittens.
Me either.
Anyway, just moving on swiftly. So I've asked this question to a lot of guys when they join the server, this show. What are you wearing?
A towel and a smile.
I did not expect that.
I get creative.
Any hoodles, my noodles. Yeah, so first of all, quick question. What got
Yeah.
you into YouTubing? Why did you start it?
Well, it was funny because I was like, I had seen some other YouTubers and they would go through and do their survival series and things like that. And there was a lot of things that I got annoyed when people would go through and skip certain things, like a lot of the conceptual process of like actually going through and building. Because I mean, there's only like so many times you can go through and do mining where people are like, please move on. Like, oh my God, please move on. But if you're building something, people sometimes like to see that process.
Yeah, I get that.
And like a lot of the YouTubers that I was seeing were, say for Robinschild, other than him, like other people were going through and they would be like, okay, I'm going to make a cut here. And like 40 minutes later, I'm going to come back and you're going to see like the shell of what I've put together. And I was like, I'd kind of like to see how you did that.
Yep, I get that.
Because I'm trying to learn and I'm absolute shite at trying to like design ships and crap. I am not proficient. It is not in my skill set. So going through and seeing people actually building ships and whatnot and seeing some of the process and what they see as they're going through and building things, I'm like, oh, okay. So, I mean, you know, I mentioned Robin Schultz. He was one of the people that got me through not having a video card that functioned.
Right, okay.
So I got my new video card and I was like, all right, with this new video card, I'm going to do some YouTube. Because when I proposed that to my dad, that's what got him to actually buy me the video card in the first place.
Sweet. I just had a friend who just helped me out.
I know, and like my dad was like, oh, so what are you going to do for Christmas and all that stuff? I was like, I could really use a video card because mine's dead. I can't play any games. I can barely watch YouTube videos. And he's like, what do those usually run? So I went looking and I'm like, okay, if he's going to buy me a video card, let's see if we can get a good one out of him. And I found, because I have an AMD system. Mm-hmm. And what I had before was the ATI, the last card to actually carry the ATI moniker. The ATI Radeon HD 5970. And it was completely OEM. I mean, it even had like a pathetic little fan on it too. But it was all like plastic case and everything. It had no heat sink at all. It was just, I'm here.
So did you
So
constantly go with a fan and just constantly fanning it just to keep it cool?
sometimes, yeah, I would actually have like a fan going in my room in the middle of winter, and my roommate would be like, "It's freaking cold in here," and it's like, "It's the only way I can game, dude. Leave me alone. Don't crank my style." But I mean, I went like nuts with it. I just went absolutely nuts with it. I was like playing every game under the sun with, and it was like doing really good graphics because it was like the first card that would actually do DirectX 11.
Mm-hmm.
So it was actually doing pretty good for the time. I mean, it was when I got the computer, it was 2011 or early 2012. That's when I got it. And it was really, really good for the time. And there were people who were really jealous of my graphics card at the time. Well, you run like that for 4 years and your video card kind of goes, all right, I'm done. Tap out. I'm tapping out. I can't do this anymore.
It's like you should have been bit mining.
Yeah. I know, right? Something.
See, I got into YouTube just to entertain people. I never really thought about it. And it was my friend who builds PCs, and he just says, well, I can build you one. And I was like, yeah? And he goes, yeah, I'll build you. And ever since he built it last November 2017, he's just been he's just constantly coming to me and says, right, I've got this part lying around. Do you want this? And then he's like, I've got this part. Do you want this? And I'm like, yeah, just do it.
I need that friend.
Yeah, he's awesome. Obviously,
because I could. But... Yeah, I know. I mean, I would probably do the same thing. I'd be like, I'm so paying you back, but can I get a new motherboard and CPU and some RAM?
I did that. I went from an i5 to an i7 motherboard with loads of RAM. I went from what was it, 890 or right up to, I've had a TI GT, and now I've got a 1080 GTX, I think it is.
Yeah. Well, my new video card is the AMD Radeon R9 390, which a couple of years ago was like better than the 1080.
Oh wow. See,
yeah, because the 1080 was falling into Nvidia's trap of, we'll totally give you like 4 gigabytes of dedicated video RAM. But what they didn't tell you is you're only going to be able to push it to 3.25 gigs of the video RAM, and they would actually shunt you the rest of it for whatever reason. I mean, there was actually a lawsuit with the 970 on that. So they had to actually, I think what they had to do, now don't quote me because I don't know for absolute sure, but I think what they had to do was actually go through and recall the 1080s and then put them back out with, actual 4 gigabytes. And mine had 8 gigabytes out the gate.
Oh.
But then again, I got the MSI version that's got heat sinks out the wazoo and like 2 fans on either side of the cores. So it's kind of badass. I kind of like it a lot.
Sweet.
But at the time when it was new, it was like a $530 card. I got it for just under $300.
I'll be honest with you.
'Cause Black Friday.
See, when it comes to computers, I know nothing. Right, I'm still learning, like most things, even just like getting files that are from games that I want to share on with people, and just even like the main parts of a game, like not main parts of a PC, like your video card, your RAM. I mean, it was actually through a stream once, Epic actually convinced me that I could download RAM. Not my proudest moment, but
oh really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. It does not work like that.
Oh man, I'm slowly.
I actually taught myself a lot of it as far as like the computer knowledge and junk. Because I mean,
Reasons.
Well, I had a brother and a couple of friends that were like super computer whiz genius stuff and whatnot, and a couple of them would build PCs. You kind of glean some information or two, and then, you check your own computer's capabilities and whatnot, and you're like, well, why isn't it doing this? Or why isn't it doing that? And yeah, it does help to actually try and figure those out.
I know.
Like the cores and like the cache and the threads and different things like that as far as your CPU. Yeah, a lot of people don't know how important that stuff is.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm I'm still like my friend. He's the one who always kind of overclocks it and tweaks it and makes it better for me. So I've just left it all to him.
Yeah, well, ever since parts started getting a little bit sluggish and whatnot, I was like, you know what, overclocking, I'm not gonna do that, because I would like to keep my computer and not have it explode.
Yeah, well, see, I didn't even know that until somebody told me, and I was like, all right then, maybe I shouldn't.
It's already, it's already starting to cry, Uncle. I really don't need it to scream louder.
Oh man. Okay, no.
Gosh, your banana. Yes,
My banana what?
your banana suit. I'm sitting here looking at it, going, "Oh my gosh."
It's awesome, isn't it? It's even got like the wee brown bits, and it was done by Equinox.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was for the April Fool's stream that we had a wee while ago.
That's hilarious.
It's brilliant. It's so
That's
simple.
absolutely.
Anyway, moving on swiftly. Second question I was going to ask you is, what's your plan for your YouTube channel? Where are you taking it from now? What games?
Well,
are you going?
I would like to expand it a bit. I do like most of my stuff is space engineers, which, you know, I would love to get season 2 going. I really would. It's just Windows 10 did some updates, and ever since they did that update, it's been like pulling teeth trying to get anything uploaded.
Right.
Like, it was bad enough for a while. I couldn't even upload a picture to Facebook because my connection would drop. And
Wow.
I'm not the only one that was having that problem. There's a lot of people who are having that problem where it was just, you'll be going to upload anything, and it wouldn't be, you could download all day long. I could download like 40 gigabytes worth of torrent and it wouldn't even blink. But if I go to upload anything, that's when it starts to go, no, we're not having that. No, that's not happening.
I never had that problem with when I got the Windows 10. No.
I know there are some people who don't, and there are some people who do, and I happen to fall into that group of people who do. So it's like infuriating to no end. I would love to get my season 2 going, because I do have plans for that. I'd like to have some multiplayer interaction on that one too, because you could only do so much in Space Engineers single player.
Yeah, see, we've done that, 4 of us. We've jumped onto a server and we're just kind of like, 2 of them have went away onto the ship and it exploded and they've landed on another planet. And myself and Swoody, we landed on the planet to colonize it. Basically, we just wanted to build a base or an epic city.
Good luck with that, because building on planets is a bitch.
Yeah, well, we're having problems already with the server. Not
Yeah.
always working, and we're finding it hard to like log in. But when it is, it's pretty fun. Like what you were saying earlier about building bases and that. I'm trying to make my episodes entertainable, but it's like, what do I show? What do I not show? And there's been a lot of times where I've been mining and I've cut that out, and when I've been building it's too long, so I've sped them up, put a wee bit of music in it so people see me doing it, but not the whole 4 hours of recording, all 4 hours. And it's like,
I do a lot of talking.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is I've done a lot of talking as well, but it's still too long. So I've edited a lot.
Yeah. Well, a lot of my viewers will notice that I will actually take my phone and I will actually set it for like a half hour, right? I will set it for 30 minutes and I will go for 30 minutes. I tell you what. And that alarm goes off. I'm like, well, okay, guys, it's time to stop. I love you, but we'll see you next time, you know?
Okay.
So my viewers are used to my phone going off, going, up, it's time to stop now. Dang it.
Maybe I should do that. Yeah, cause
it's a good way to control yourself and not let yourself get carried away.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. I mean, I've done a lot of episodes where like 40 minutes long, and it's like I've packed in everything I could to tell the story to take me along, instead of just like there was me mining and there's me like building a ship, but then I've missed out the fact that I blew up a ship before it and I've left it. I've done that once. And then I've like, Sweetie's just like, I've watched your video, but it's like, what was the point where the other ship was? Like, you blew it up. What happened? And then I went re-edit it, and then next thing you know is you see me jumping on this ship, and then it just turns upside down, and it explodes, and I'm like, yeah, I didn't really want to show that.
That's generally where I would go, you know what? This is why I don't generally leave everything to autosave, because I would have lost Sparky like 4 times.
I've got a knack for just jumping on vehicles and they just explode. I'm like, it wasn't me.
Well, let's see. Okay, I had somebody, I did a live stream, like the only live stream I've ever been able to do that actually cooperated and everything. I had somebody take Sparky and explode Sparky. And I'm like, oh, heck no. I am not saving this world. So I didn't lose Sparky. But I have the weirdest bad luck with mining ships. The Azura, I killed the Azura by myself. With freaking Salford Sal on as a guest in my world. And I was about to go out mining, and I forgot that part of the freaking ceiling I had filled in, and I hit that part, and Azura just went all over the deck. I'm sitting there lying there, and no kidding, I'm looking straight up at the sky going, am I dead? Am I dead?
Sanka, man, you're dead, man.
Yeah, it's like, if this is what heaven looks like, I want to go home. This sucks. I want to go back.
Epic and I just did Cosmically Epic, and I did more or less where I was grinding down what he just built, and our uranium just disappeared because I ground down the reactor, and it was just at that moment we realised we had nothing to fuel our ship.
Oops. So you ground down the reactor, and then you ground down the uranium, didn't you?
The uranium just disappeared.
Oh, awesome. It didn't just like fall through the deck or anything?
It might have fell through the world. But as I said, I just ground it down without taking it out. And
yeah, that does happen. It is space engineers.
oh, man.
Yeah, and then another time I had the NID, and we were all hanging out and doing stuff, and Boris went for a mining run, and he was a little too loaded down, and he crashed into a hillside and killed my miner that Sal had just built.
I blueprint everything so that if I destroy it, then I can build it back for them.
I have learned this. I have learned this the hard way. Many times. I just do not have the best luck in the world with planetary mining ships.
So I feel not too bad then if we were to do a Let's Play with Ark then, because then we can destroy each other's things without feeling guilty about it.
I do like that game. Yeah, that's kind of something that I would really like to do is, well, I've got this idea for, well, you've already heard this idea, but I mean, your viewers haven't, that, you know, not a lot of people do, Ark in a sort of like a tutorial manner, where they're like, okay, you're new. Here's what all the buttons do. Here's what you should do for this. Here's, you know, and just kind of like step by step. A lot of it, it's like they're so high level that you're like, what are we going to do now? Because, I mean, they're going after like thylacoleos and different things like that. And you're like, and they're using tranquilizer darts. You used to get tranquilizer darts a lot sooner than you do now, but it's like level 62 that you get tranquilizer darts now. And, yeah, so you have to be relatively high level to get to that point. But they're doing it all the freaking time. Every time you turn around, every taming video I see is they've got trank darts. And I'm like, well, that's all well and good, but what about somebody who's like level 20 and trying to work at stuff? what kind of dinos should they focus on? Taming up and whatnot.
A dodo.
And well, dodo, those are the easiest things in the world. You punch them. You punch them and feed them major berries. Dodo tamed. Whoop-de-doo.
We've been playing on the server you've got, and I'm at level 15, I think it is. But then there was that time where I accidentally tamed that animal when I was trying to punch it, and it.
Oh my god, that was hilarious.
What was it called?
Pegomastax. It's like this little rat bird thing. It's got these like almost like porcupine spines that are supposed to be feathers, I think, but it's just like hair things. They look nasty. They're lizard rats. They really are. And they steal from you and then they run away. They hurt you a little bit and they run away. And how do you tame them? You just randomly put meat in your last toolbar slot, and when they get near you, you can feed them. It's a passive tame. And you just happen to be sitting there like gathering stuff, pressing E, gathering fiber and berries and stuff like that, and one happened to come up and try and steal your stuff, and you hit E, and you tamed it. Just like that. Complete accident. And both me and the other person that we were sitting there working with, he turns around and he's like, did he just tame one? Because I think he did. And then you have it on your shoulder. You're like, look what I got, guys. I got a new friend. And I'm like, I didn't even know those were a passive tame. Like, what the?
Oh, that was hilarious.
That was absolutely just like, oh my god, you have a rat now.
I have a rat.
Go play with your rat.
It's just the fact that I accidentally tamed it. I didn't even realize what I was doing until it happened, and then I was like, "Why is this thing following me?"
Yeah, so I want to do that for Ark, and as soon as they stop dragging their fracking feet and actually get 3.0 out, I want to do Star Citizen content. Because right now it's not much of a game. Right now they have Arena Commander, which, you know, you can fly around and, well, I have a crappy ship, so I'm not going to be like affecting any kind of world power or blowing anybody up anytime soon because it's a starter ship. It's crap. Yeah, and it's like you've got Arena Commander, and all I've got is a baseline Aurora. I'm not going to be making waves with a baseline Aurora. It's just going to be.
I've never watched any Star Citizens, so I don't even know really about the game much. I've heard of it, but that's.
It's kind of awesome and really ambitious. It's like one of the most ambitious space sims I've heard about in a long time.
Ambitious in what way?
Well, it's like, have you ever heard of Wing Commander?
Wing Commander, yes, I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's a series of games that Chris Roberts helped produce and put together and things like that throughout the 90s. It's a whole series of like at least 4 games, I think.
Okay.
And it's one of the first ones that was like fighter combat and things like that, but it was like story driven. It was kind of along the same lines as like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, or like the whole X-Wing series. But it was, I mean, the first game they had was like 89 or something. And it was like, there were very, very few computers who could actually run the stupid game. It was sprites and crap, but it was like, yeah, it was like hugely, advanced graphics for the PC at the time.
I wasn't even born.
Shut it. Anyway.
Anyway, moving on swiftly. Yeah. And so they put it together, but it was like story-driven stuff, and it was actually really compelling story. I mean, I remember these games fondly. And, you know, Chris moved on from that particular developer, and he got with another one. I don't remember which one it was, but he started doing Freelancer. Mm-hmm. Which was more open world. You have your ship and you can do just about anything you want to. And this was like early 2000s, and it's still running, and it's still being actively modded, and the mods are actively updated. So it's got a vibrant community who is really religious and supportive of the game. And
Yeah, and we had Star Wars Galaxies,
Oh, that's a game I would like to play.
which before Sony screwed it up was actually really, really good. And it's like you could basically choose to be whatever you wanted to be. You didn't have to be in combat. You could be on a planet crafting all day long every day if that's what you wanted to. You could be in a cantina as an entertainer, a dancer, giving people buffs, and never have to fire a single blaster bolt.
Oh, wow.
Or you could be a medic and like heal people up or give them, like certain buffs or whatever. And that was your whole day. Was you were a medic. You didn't have to fire a single blaster bolt. It's not like the MMOs now where it's like everybody's in combat. Everybody's in combat.
Now, I like that concept of games. That's something I would like to do. I mean, I like games where you can build things and you can interact with other people, but I don't always want to be in a fighting game. I mean, don't get me wrong, I will play. I've got like Battlefield 1 for the Xbox, and that's great for like when you're in the mood for it, just every now and again. But I prefer games like Space Engineers or Ark or Interstellar Rift, where you can actually just build big amazing structures and like mining. Like
Yeah.
Interstellar Rift, I love mining in it. It's just so therapeutic for me.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have to fight. And I mean, for people like you coming home from a long day at work, you're going to sit there and you're going to chill out. You don't always necessarily want to be in a high octane battle. What if you had a stressful day at work? What if, your boss is breathing down your neck all day? You've had all the excitement you freaking want for the day.
Exactly.
You want to chill out and just do something. Do something relatively mindless to, kind of work out the problems of the day in your head and then go to bed without much of a worry.
Exactly.
That's what games are pretty good for.
That's also why I watch YouTube. For that reason.
It is. Oh yeah, it is. Sometimes it can be frustrating when you're going through and recording and it doesn't record right, but that's
You've
a thing.
had that issue quite a few times.
I know. OBS sometimes doesn't like me. But what Star Citizen is attempting to do, first they're going to come out and they're going to release Squadron 42.
Okay.
And it's the single player campaign. It's a single player campaign aspect of the game. So you do that, you go through that, you're like, this military person, whatever, that's going through and doing your time, earning your citizenship, kind of like Starship Troopers kind of thing. And let's go for a flight.
Yeah.
Just because.
I'm looking at the skeletons out here. I love them.
Oh, I noticed. You're so weird.
They're just old bodies that I didn't need.
And true, But a lot of the stuff with Star Citizen is that you'll go through and you'll do your time in the military and whatnot.
Right. Do you have to
And
do that?
yeah. Well, it's gonna give you your tutorials and how to play the game and different things like that. So that's kind of part of the aspect of it. I love the curves parts.
Yeah, like I love my curves.
There's not a lot of people who do the curves, but I'm right there with you in the curves. You should see Rickman Complex.
As a guy that I love watching is Karalis, and he always says that you need bendy things for the bendy people. Because not everybody likes square buildings or square straight roads, and like see when you're watching, like when you're playing like sim games where you're wanting to build your towns and your cities, everybody just puts like square roads and build everything in it. Well, he likes to build.
Yeah, it's very Roman.
Yeah. So that's why I like to be different, and that's another thing is I don't always like to be symmetrical. Why do you have to be symmetrical? Why does everything have to be perfectly in the same line on each side?
See, oh my gosh, you're gonna love this. Okay, so you start off with the single player campaign in Star Citizen, and then once you're done with your tour in the military, then you're in the Persistent Universe, which will come out, full version of the Persistent Universe will be out a little bit later after Squadron 42.
Okay.
And it's kind of like if Squadron 42 is more like Wing Commander, where it's the story-based campaign single-player sort of thing. Mm-hmm. The Persistent Universe is more like Freelancer and Star Wars Galaxies before the quote-unquote new game enhancements, where you could basically do whatever the frack you want to. And you're not limited to character classes or anything like that. It's just you. What do you want to do?
No, that's
right?
cool.
If you want to mine, mine. If you want to ferry goods from one place to another, fine. My favorite ship in that is the Drake Caterpillar.
Okay.
And Drake, it's kind of like Space Engineers, where you're putting stuff together, and sometimes you actually do want the conveyor tubes to show.
Yeah.
And you've got kind of a more of a lived-in kind of
Rusty
it's
old
functional.
ship.
It's not necessarily rusty and old. It's just kind of like it's functional. It's not supposed to be pretty. Like, it's a freighter ship. Do we want it to look like a luxury liner?
No.
Not really. And the Drake Caterpillar is just this long freaking thing with a bunch of cargo doors that open up on the side. Kind of awesome. And the front has a garage door that opens up, and it's got a small lift that comes off the front, so you can put like a couple of, like, I call them speeder bikes because that's kind of what they look like.
Yeah.
But you can do that sort of thing. And it's an asymmetrical design. Like, there's a command pod that can detach from the rest of the ship, but it's off to one side of the ship.
See, that's cool.
And then you've got like a tractor beam sort of thing to help you ferry in cargo on the opposite side of the ship. But the whole design is meant to be asymmetrical.
Heavy
And I always
one
thought that
side,
was
light another.
cool.
Yeah.
I was like, that's got character, you know? I mean, you can have your Origin 300, 600i or whatever the heck you want to and be all pretty. I'll take my Drake Caterpillar and it'll be functional and asymmetrical, and it's pretty to me. So shove off.
Shove off.
Yeah, I've already named mine too. It's going to be the Shrieking Violet.
Oh, why is that?
Well, you know, my favorite color is purple. I don't know if you've noticed this.
No, I haven't.
I know, right? So I was
Mine's
like,
pink.
how can I mix in my favorite color? And then I started thinking about, you know, what do they call a more demure woman? Well, a shrinking violet. And I'm like, Shrieking Violet, because I'm a crazy bitch. I'm okay with this.
And I'm a crazy banana.
Yeah, it works.
Like, you know, I should, I feel like always making banana splits, but can't really crack myself open. Anyway.
We could try.
We could try. Epic
Let's
always
do a Humpty Dumpty and like knock you off and see if you split in half.
Ooh, that's a good shout. On you go.
Ah! It didn't work. He didn't. Go.
It's no
You
happening. I'm just sitting
You
on the
missed.
sea. Nah, never worked.
Oh, you didn't crack? Oh, man.
But you might slip on top of me.
I might.
Oh,
Let's
man.
see.
Go.
Hi.
Oh, look, I'm looking up your
Yay, we did it. What skirt? I'm in a suit.
I know, I was laughing.
What skirt? I'm in a suit.
I love when you get female characters. It's brilliant. It's good to see a diverse, like, not just males and not just, yeah. I like the whole character customization in most games nowadays. Especially
Yeah.
with the Arc. I love the fact that you can cut your hair.
Well, the funny thing there is that I always use Arc as a barometer for other games.
Okay.
Like, everybody's always saying that you got to put in you sources and things like that to make a female character.
Mhm.
You know, let's get the game working and then we'll worry about pretty. Because there's a lot of people who think that having a female character is just pretty parts. Well, brew you, Jamaica Bean. I want my female character. I want my representation early. And if they say that it's expensive and junk like that, I think, gosh, what did Studio Wildcard had? I think they had like, It was under $200,000. I know it was that. I think it was more like 60, 70K, something along those lines.
Can you not just get a male character and add boobs?
No, it doesn't work like that. Our skeletons are different. I don't know if you've noticed.
No, I've never noticed.
Yeah, but the messed up thing there is that you know, they didn't have a whole lot of money because Studio Wildcard is an indie developer, and it's funny because they lived like not too far away from me.
This skeleton could have moobs.
Maybe.
You don't even know if this is a man or a female.
Well, it's a skeleton, so yeah, it's not really.
Exactly.
I can't see the pelvis, so I can't tell you.
It's covering it by a hat.
Yeah. But with Studio Wildcard, they took like 6 months to do Ark Survival Evolved before they went to like the first early access. And I'll tell you, I was there at the very beginning for Ark Survival Evolved. It was buggy as crap to start with. Oh my god, there were bugs everywhere. And it had a long way to go. But I mean, 6 months, they had an entire island done. They had both male and female characters. They had a rudimentary character creation, and they had dinos and resources and all those things all done in Unreal 4 and all that jazz. They had it all done in 6 months. And the male and female characters both had separate armatures. One of the problems with a lot of game designers is like the animation skeleton and things like that they use for their characters. Mm-hmm. That's called the armature. And they use the same one for male and female. Like if you play Mass Effect.
Yeah. They
don't do separate animations for male and female. They do the same animations. And they use the same animation skeleton. They use the same armature for male shepherd and female shepherd. The same freaking one. All the time. Well, Ark had a separate animation skeleton for men and a separate animation skeleton for women from day one.
See, that's cool.
So they both move differently. And they had rudimentary grunts because you punch a tree. Like the first day, you punch a tree. If you're a dude, you'll sound like a dude punching a tree. If you're a girl, you'll sound like a girl punching a tree.
It's like, ooh, ah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but yeah, it's a thing. But I mean, they had that from day one. That's always been there. So you can't tell me it's expensive. Interstellar Rift, when you told me that for the longest time they only had the female character, I was absolutely astounded. I'm like, I love this developer. Who are they, and how do I get in touch with them?
Yeah, I mean,
because
that
requires congratulations in gaming today.
Oh, definitely. When you watch each other's character walking or running, it's totally different. I mean, really different. I mean, when Commander Kittens, he plays as a female, and when he's running, it looks like he's like shaking his bum. It is hilarious. But then when the guy does it, it's just totally different. And I that's what I was saying. It's like it's amazing to see the difference between characters, and the same with when I played Ark for the first time just recently. I noticed it, and I was like, "That's amazing." It's not
and it's been like that since day one. Since day one of early access, it's been like that. And I'm like, okay, you give me that, and you can't tell me that with all of your resources and all of your stuff and everything like that, you can't do the same thing that Studio Wildcard did with Ark Survival Evolved in 6 months with 70 grand.
Wow.
You can't tell me you can't do that.
I'd love that money.
I know, right? So would I. Also, one more thing I really want to do is actually finish my Star Wars The Old Republic series, because I was doing one where it's Supergirl Saves the Galaxy.
Oh, no, okay.
I'd really like to finish that because I'm actually proud of the accomplishment I did with making a model of Supergirl in Star Wars The Old Republic. It wasn't easy. Like, that was expensive.
Really?
Yeah, we're talking like at least 5 million credits to get her to look like that.
I'll need to have a look at that. Is it
Because
just
a lot of the parts are like costume bits and things like that from the cartel market,
yeah?
and then you add dyes. And the particular dye that I had to use to make the chest blue and the cape red was like, when I got it, it was 1.25 million credits for just that one dye. And you can't reuse them either. It's one-time use.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought maybe if you got the color, you got the color. That's it. It's not like you have to. Wow.
No, how do you expect EA to make money like that?
Yeah, they need the money, don't they?
No, they really don't, but they want it really bad.
I was considering about getting EA access on the Xbox, but then I was like, maybe later.
Yeah, I'm not such a big fan of Origin either. I'm like, I'll stick with Steam. It works.
Anyway, guys. I think that's time. I think that's time to call it a wrap.
PC Master Race! Woohoo!
Oh, you're hilarious. I honestly, I'm looking forward to working with you. That'll be, yeah.
I know, it'd be great, right?
It's been brilliant just messing about on the Arc server.
Yeah, we've been doing. We trying to get some stuff recorded. You know,
your
when my
channel.
computer
Yeah.
wants to record, when my computer decides it wants to cooperate.
Yeah, as
Because sometimes it does, and then sometimes it gives me the one finger salute.
as kittens would say, your PC is a potato. It's a potato.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh,
It's almost there.
Anyway, guys, moving on swiftly. I love that. Thanks for watching The Cosmic Show with our awesome guest, the royalty of all royalty, Pampered Duchess. Thank you for being here.
Oh, I thank you. We'll see you later, guys.
Yes, if you've liked this video, thumbs up. If you've not liked this video, thumbs up. Any comment would be appreciative. And as always, guys, stay safe.